That's true. That's
And
ab
so I remember one call in particular, I was totally fixated on myself. I was
Mhm.
totally fixated on, the doctors had told me when I said, how long do I have? They said maybe 10 years. This was 23 years ago. They said maybe 10 years.
Wow.
And everything I was thinking about was kind of going through that prism unless I was, occupied with the fire department. And
Hmm.
things could change in an instant because we carried pagers and we had our personal turnout gear in our vehicles, and then the fire apparatus would meet us at the scene. And I was
Hmm.
driving home thinking about myself, pager goes off, and you can tell after a while when the dispatcher, the police dispatcher, you can tell by the tone of their voice
Hmm.
if
Yeah.
it's not a routine call. And this was not a routine. It could tell in the tone of her voice. And
Yeah.
I was already headed in the direction of where this accident occurred. So I was the second person to get there. And when I got there, I put on my gear and I went over to this car, which I could not immediately tell what was the front of the car and what was the rear of the car. It was that bad.
Oh.
And I walked up and I saw what turned out later to be an 18-year-old boy lying on his back, and I could see
Oh,
immediately, I could tell he was dead.
goodness.
There was a piece about that really stayed with me, which is this light inside of us that we
Hmm.
would call our soul, maybe, or our spirit that animates us.
Absolutely.
And I could see for the first time in my life, I could feel that that was not there.
Yeah.
He
Mm.
didn't have any major obvious marks on him, but I could immediately tell that he was gone. And reflecting on this incident, it was I was thinking about how 5 minutes before they impacted with the first tree, these two probably didn't have a healthcare in the world, 18 and 22. 5 minutes later, and I was fixated on my situation.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, they were gone.
They were gone.
And
Of
that had this visceral impact on me that
course.
none of us is guaranteed anything.
Mm.
That I should really spend more time appreciating what I actually have rather than fixating on what I might lose and when I might lose it. So these were some really pivotal experiences for me in dealing with the fear.